So I want to print something like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Table of 1. All right. 2, then 4, then 6, 8, then something like this. It should continue till 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Right? Okay. So if you see the logic for this, if I write numbers, if I write 1, 2, 3, and so on till 10, okay? And here if I write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it's like a matrix. So the numbers which I want here, it is a multiplication of 1 and 2. Okay, it's 1 and 1. 1 and 3 is 3. 1 and 4, 4. 1 and 5, 5. Similarly for this, 2 into 1, 2. 2 into 2, 4. Something like this, right? Okay. Now how to write with the loops, okay? So this is an example of your nested loops. Okay, so last class we discussed simple for loops and while loops, right? Let's see how we can write a nested loop also. So I want numbers from 1 to 10, right? So I need two ranges, one which will go from 1 to 10, and here's something I'm expecting from 1 to 5, right? So if I write for value 1 in range 1 to 11, say, okay? If I print the value, so it will print every element, right? So this we discussed last time also, that I can write normal for loop and I can use the range function to get the number, right? Okay, let's try one thing. So if I will use nested loops, okay. So I have a for loop and I'm trying to write one more loop here. For value 2 in range, let's say I'm writing again 1 to 11, okay. And let's print now both the things, value 1 comma value 2, okay. Now just observe the results, okay. How your nested loops work, that I guess we'll select it. Pick one element from outer for loop, okay, 1, and then complete the entire inner loop, okay. So now you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this is my inner loop, okay. Then pick next element from outer for loop, 1, okay, and then complete the entire inner loop, okay. So if I go here, how it will work, in a first iteration, it will fetch one value, that will be in your value 1, okay. Now for that value, it will completely execute this loop, okay. Now this loop actually starts from 1, go till 11, okay. So that's why in the output I can say 1 comma 1, 1 comma 2, 1 comma 3 till 1 comma 10, okay. Once this is finished, when this loop is finished, it will increment the value. Now value 2 will be again 1, 2, and then a repeat from 1 again, right? So all I want is multiplication of these two things, okay? Here I'm just changing the range now to 6, and here instead of this, I just want a multiplication. Now just see the results. Okay, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Then it's showing 2, 4, 6. Okay, then it's showing 2, 4, 6, 10. Then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay, so it's showing the output, but everything in the same line, right? If I want the same output which I showed you, that I want the tables from 1 to 5, right? So I want 1 to 5 printed horizontally and this 2 to 10 second line, right? Okay. Now just count the numbers. So here it will be 1, right? And for that one, I will get numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Now what is this? This is your entire inner loop, right? So whenever I get a new element in the inner loop, I don't want to print it to the new line. I want it to be printed on the same line, okay? So your print function can take one more argument and that is called end. Okay. So defaultly this end value is /n. That means new line. Okay. Now what I'm saying, for the end explicitly specify space. Okay, not the new line. Okay. So defaultly this value is /n. Now what is the meaning of /n? /n means new line. Okay. But here instead of /n I'm saying put a space. Let's execute this. Okay. Now it is printing everything on the same line. Okay. So you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, then 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Okay. But my expectation is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. That should be in the same line. But after that, there should be, this should be printed on a new line. This should be printed on a new line. And this should be printed on a new line. Right. So from where I'm getting this value, so this entirely is inner for loop. Okay, but to start it again, I'm incrementing the value from outer for loop, right? So what I will do, I'll just say print /n. Okay, so now it will give me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one line. Next 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 3, 6, 9, 10. Okay, so this will look like my table. Okay, so using Python, you can write your nested loop also. So how your nested loop will work? It will fetch one value from outer loop, and for that same value, it will complete the entire inner loop. Then increment the value from outer loop, again complete the entire inner loop, then increment the value to complete this process. Okay. Okay. So whenever you print something, okay. So print, let's say I'm printing Python. Okay. Now if I say print 100, okay, I'm writing two print statements. So defaultly it will print your next statement in the next line. Okay. So how it works that there is a parameter end. Okay. So this value is defaultly actually set to the /n. Okay. So this /n means new line character. Okay. So after this, put a new line character so that whatever is getting printed after this will be printed on a new line. Okay. Now I want to explicitly specify that do not print it on a new line. Put a comma between these two values. Okay. So how I want to print the next line, I can specify using this end attribute. Okay. So the /n is default. Okay. So this thing will be more clear when we discuss functions. We have something called default arguments. Okay. So I'll just show this help of print if you do. Okay. you can say that these are different parameters. These are actually called as the keyword arguments. Okay, so what is keyword arguments and everything we will discuss at when we discuss functions. Okay, but you can see this value is defaultly set to the slash n by Python internet. Okay, now the slash n has a reserved meaning, that is slash n means new line character. Okay, now it is same in your C, in C++, same in your Java, and same in your Python. Okay, so slash n means new line. So defaultly it is set to the slash n. So you can override this thing and you can say, I don't want to print everything on the new line. I want to print on the same line. And while printing on the same line, I want to put a comma. Okay.
Can't I write Python comma rendered in the same print statement?
Yeah. Okay. Now for that, if you see here, whenever I say print Python and I want to print multiple values, I can just separate it by comma and put 100. Okay. Now when I execute this, you can see defaultly it will put one space in between. Okay. We can change this also. So here you can say separator. So now you want a separator as comma. Okay. So defaultly it will put the space, but you are saying that I don't want a space in between. I want a comma. Okay. So this is argument. This is called separator, and this is for your end. Okay. Rishabh, clear or any queries? Prakash, you got to know why we need slash n, because this is the default one. Okay, you can change it to something else. Okay, so today we'll start with the data structures. So we have discussed loops, conditional statements, how to define a variable, and operators, right? So we will start with data structures. So data structures, we need to discuss string, then list we have, then we have to discuss what is tuple, then dictionaries, set. Okay, so let's see if we can finish it in 2 days. Okay, so let's start with strings. In Python, anything which is enclosed in single quotes or in double quotes or in a triple quotes is a valid string. Okay. Now, generally, this triple quote string is reserved for multi-lines. Okay. So, for single line string, you can use either single quotes or double quotes. Okay. Python string. Okay. You can write this thing as with the double quotes, or you can say this one is equals to single quote, welcome to Python. Okay, triple quotes are generally reserved for your multi-line string. Okay, if I put enter here, we can see that it's showing some changes in color also. That this is not same as with that color, so it's white, and it will consider this string as a variable. Okay, now if you want that this is your string and it is in multiple lines, so you can use triple quotes. Okay. We can use single triple quotes or single or double triple quotes. Okay. The only restriction while defining is if I'm starting it with this, I cannot end with single triple quotes. Okay. If I'm starting my string with single quotes, I should end this with single quote. Okay. Now the reason it supports both single and double quote is, let's say this is a string, right? Whenever you print it, you can see it will show welcome to Python. it is not considering this quotes, right? So whatever you are printing, you are asking, it is printing as it is, right? I want quotes in between. Okay, so that I can do using this. Now it will print this Python in a quotes. Okay, but if I try to use a single quote, so it will say, okay, this is the start of the string, this is the end of the string. Okay, there is another string which is empty, but now there is one variable named Python. Okay, now it will try to search for a variable where Python is defined. Okay, but there is no Python variable, it will throw an error. Okay, so other option is either start your string with single quotes and for quotes use double quotes, or you can use escape character. Okay, but as it supports this quotes, this is more clean approach to the same. Okay, all right. Few things about string. First, strings are immutable. Okay, so when I say immutable, which means once I define a value at a particular memory location, I cannot update the value. Okay, and that is the reason in Python, whenever I say my data type is immutable, which means there will be no methods to update, delete, and there will be no methods to add, update, and delete. Okay. Next, the order in which you are storing the data in a string, Python will also maintain the same order. So that's why your Python strings is an ordered data structure. Okay. In Python, whenever I say any data structure is ordered, which means it should support indexing and slicing. Okay. Now, what is this indexing and slicing? I'm defining one string s is equals to Python sample string. Okay. Now, if I print s, I will get the entire string. If I print s square bracket of 0, okay, this will give me 0. This will give me e. If I say s of 1, this will give me y. If I say 2, this will give me t, and so on. Okay, so we have indexes which will start from 0 and it will go from left to right. Okay, so we have an index which will start from left side and it will start from number 0. So every character will have a one index. Okay, even space is considered as a character. Okay, so I can say s of 2, it will give me one number. In Python, we have something called negative indexing also. Okay. Okay. So we have two types of indexes, one which will go from left to right and one which will go from right to left. Okay, the one which goes from left to right will start from 0. So it will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. And we have one more which will go from right to left and it will start from -1. So it will be -1, -2, -3, -4 and so on. Okay. So by this logic, every character will have two indexes, one positive and one negative. That is one with respect from left to right and one from respect of right to left. Okay, and you are free to use anything. Okay, so both will have same meaning. One important point, if I specify something which does not exist, it will throw me an error that index does not exist. Okay, clear? Guys, any query? Okay. So this is your indexing. Okay, now what is slicing? Now you have a string and you want to access the particular part of the string. Okay, not the entire string. Let's say I want this Python. Okay, so for that you don't need to write a loop in Python. All you can do is I'm saying, so I want Python, right? What is the index of P? Okay, so P is 0. What is the index of N? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, just put colon and 5. Okay, so this is start and this is end. Okay, so start colon end. Okay, important concept. End is not inclusive. Okay, so the same thing we have seen in case of our range function also. So when we give directly s of 5, okay, this will work as your indexing and you will get only n. Okay, so hold on what you're asking, we'll come to that also. Okay, so first variation we are discussing, that is I am specifying start and I am specifying end. Okay, so just specify the start and the end. It will start from 0, go till 6. Okay, or now let's say I want start from s and go till end of the string. Okay, so I want to start from this particular character and go till end of the string. What is the index of s? So I'm saying 7 colon and I'm not putting anything here. Okay, so in that case it will start from this particular element and go till end of the string. Okay, next variation. If I do not put the start, defaultly it will start from the 0th element and go till this list. Okay, but again your end is not included. Okay, so you cannot write only 6, because if you write s of 6, that will your indexing and you will get single character. Okay, but if you mean a slicing, then use colon and then 6. Okay, now then this will give you entire Python. Prakash, clear now? Let's see the third variation. Okay, so far we have seen I can specify start and the end. End is not inclusive. I can only specify the start and it will start from that index and go till end of the list. I will not specify the start, I will just specify the end. Okay, so these are the three variations we have seen so far. Now, if I want alternate characters, I will say something. I want entire string, but from this, pick only alternate characters. Okay, so how it will work? It will start from the first element, P. Then you are saying print me every second character. So skip Y, print every second, that is T. Skip H, print O. Skip N, print space. Skip S, print A. Okay, So here you are printing every second character. Okay. So this third argument is actually called as your stride. Okay. So if you want to print alternate character, if I say something like this, what will be the output? So now I'm specifying the start point. Okay, what is 1? 0, 1, that is y. Okay, and after that print every third character. So 1, 2, 3, O. Okay, then 1, 2, 3, S. Then 1, 2, 3, P. बंद करो.
नहीं मैं दोनों तो कैसे करते हैं बेटर तो जो लिखा है मदद तैयार होगा.
Yes, can you move ahead? Any queries so far? So let's say now I want reverse of the string. Okay. All I need to do is print colon colon minus 1. Okay. So we have this stride, we have seen this stride to print every alternate character or every second character or every third character, right? So defaultly the value of stride is 1. Okay. That's why it prints every character. Okay. Now if your stride is positive, it will always traverse your string from left to right. Okay. So here, all right. Whenever we defaultly say 1, okay. So whenever we actually saying that colon colon, which means I want entire string. Okay. When I specify 1 here, it means I want every character. Okay. That's why you'll get same string again. So this is the default value. Even when you only specify something like this, that is 0, 6, defaultly Python will make the third value as 1. Okay, that means print every character. When I say colon 2, which means I'm saying print every second character. That means start from this element and print every second character. That means 1, 2. So it will skip this y, print t. Okay. Then next time h is skipped, o is printed. Okay. Likewise, but now I'm saying end is 6 1. Okay, so that's why if you see the output, you'll get only PTO. Okay, because start from 0, print second character. That means 0, 1 and 2. This is second character. 1 and 2. This is second character. Okay, 1 and 2. But I'm saying go till 6 only, right? And your 6 is not inclusive. That means I'm asking it to stop it here only, right? So that's why this is said to be. So this is your printing every second character. Okay. Hi.
This is the class that I asked for.
So next thing is colon minus 1. So what is this? So this stands for reverse of the stride. So your stride will always decide the direction. If your stride is positive, which means it will start from this left to right. If your stride is negative, it will always go from right to left. Okay. If I say something like this, I'm saying print me every alternate character but from right hand side. Output will be G, N skipped I, R skipped T, S skipped space. Okay. So start from G and print every second character. Okay. That is because I'm saying minus 2. Okay. If it's positive, it will go from left to right. If it's negative, it will go from right to left. Okay. If I say something, print s of colon this. What will be the output? I'm saying minus 2 and minus 3.
And
Mm-hmm.
T,
1, 2, 3. T,
L,
1, 2,
E,
3.
E,
Okay.
M,
1, 2, then third M,
space,
then 1, 2, space,
H,
1, 2, 3, then H.
and T.
Okay. So whenever I say data structure is ordered, which means it will support indexing and slicing. Okay. So clear indexing and slicing to everyone. So
Now, we will continue with the functions and after functions
continue with this. Continue with this.
then
It will be repetition for 2 weeks.
I have left chapter functions.
Yeah. So
So
because
today it will be covered.
no,
Tomorrow.
tomorrow. That's what I'm saying. You need to reach the function next week. It will be revision for you. Rishabh Prakash, any queries in indexing and slicing? So let's discuss some of the inbuilt functions which we have for strings. Before that, let's start with operators. So when I say S1 is equals to Python, and if I say S2 is equals to string, if I print S1 plus S2, this will work as a concatenation and this will give the combined result. Okay. Another thing, so if I say S1 plus S2, this will give me the concatenation. If I try something like this, that S1 star 5. Okay. So it will repeat the same string 5 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. But if I say S1 multiplied by S2, logically it will not make any sense and it will throw an error. Okay. So this is the example of your operator over that plus operator you can use for your concatenation, and S1 star operator you can use for multiple times printing the same string. Okay. If you want length of the string, you can use this alien function.
They have finished their work.
Almost last day.
Actually, all my parents and came over.
Right.
I went outside. And after that, I was not well.
Right for audition.
I told them this about it.
Because now if you continue with that, I should
No,
be
not yet.
Okay. So first set of function, yeah, Nirmala, tell me some of the inbuilt functions.
Thinking 1 2 3
Uh-huh. Anyone? At least one.
It was in my mind, but I couldn't remember.
start. We start with this casing function. So first we have something called upper, then we have isupper, then we have lower, islower, then we have title, then we have istitle, then we have capital. Let's say I have a string something like this, right? If I say s1 is equals to s dot upper, okay, and then if I print s1, okay, it will convert it to the upper. Okay. Similarly, if you have a string and you want to check if this is an uppercase or not, okay, I can use this s1 dot is upper. Okay. So it will check if this is an already uppercase or not. If it's in uppercase, it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. So here, if I check s dot is upper, it will return false. Okay. So all letters should be capital. For upper function, no. Okay. Because this is not a user defined function, this is inbuilt function. Okay, so this function will not take any argument. No. So we will discuss when we come to the classes and objects why I'm writing this as s dot. Okay, so here I'm actually specifying which string I need to convert it to the uppercase and which string I need to check. Okay, so as I'm already specifying which string to convert, so there is no need to specify here. There is no need to pass any arguments. Okay, so similar to this, we can. So now I have s1, which is an uppercase. I will say s2 is equals to s1 dot lower. What this will do? Okay, it will convert it to the lowercase. If you want to check, I can say s2 dot is lower. Okay, this will give me answer as. Okay. So similar to this, we have title and is title. So what this will do, it will convert it to the title case. What I'm printing. Okay. So it will convert your first character to the uppercase of every string. So that's why when I check if is title, it will give me answer as. I capitalize. Okay. So it will keep your first character in uppercase. Everything else will be converted to the lowercase. So as soon as capital here, it converted to the lowercase. Okay. So is capitalized just to check if a string is in capitalized state or not. So this function is not present. Okay. So you have to write a logic for this. Okay. So what I need to check, I need to check if the first character is in uppercase or not, and everything else is in lowercase or not. Okay. Try this.
Please capitalize.
Yeah. Yeah. So we don't have is capitalized function. Okay. So you have to write a logic which will be checking if the string which you are passing is in capitalized state or not. If it's yes, then print true, else print false. So let's say input string is something like this.
We can apply the indexing.
Mhm.
If one column zero
Mhm.
is to
Tell me
is
if
first row one
uh-huh.
is the one column
As of
0 equal to user for
uh-huh. 0 equal to
yeah
s. Do I need to be equal to or something
yeah
like this? Okay. Uh-huh. But when I can say my string is capitalized, that first is capital and rest everything is in lowercase. Okay. So according to this logic, this is also capitalized. Okay. But actually, it should be only first letter should be capital. Everything else should be lowercase. Mhm.
as of one is
Yes, so
one
uh-huh.
dot is no no column is end with the
So if I specify start and if I do not put the end, it will start from this and go till end.
yes dot is lower
then this is the thing. I will print true. Okay. So let this will give answer as false. Same thing I can write it as
One column minus one
where?
from second to till the end.
So you want 1 colon minus 1.
Till end.
So it will not consider the last element because the last is not increasing, right? So instead of this, I can simply say that if S equals S of okay.
See,
Okay. So what I'm saying that convert it to the capital. So what my capitalized function will do? It will convert it to the capital, right? What my capital casing will be first is capital, rest everything is in lower. Okay. If I need to check if this string is in already in a capitalized state or not, I will just compare the original string with the capitalized version. If both versions are equal, then I will say print true, else print. Let's say you have a list. Okay. You want to, so if I print this, it will give me one string, right? So entire thing is one element. I want this HTML separate, CSS separate, Java separate, and Python separate. I want to convert this into a list. Okay. So for that I can use a function that is split. So what this split will do, I will just say s dot split. Okay. And I need to specify on the basis of what I need to split it. Okay. So I'm saying search for comma in this particular string, and based on that split in this string. Okay. So now if I print the L, okay. So this is your string. Now I converted actually to the, okay. So this is a very important function. We will be needing this. Okay. Important point. If I specify something which does not exist, okay. Now I'm saying split the string on the basis of space. Now if you see the string, there is no space here. Okay. Still I'm saying split it. Okay. So you will get everything as a one element. Okay. So ultimately your split function will always give you the answer as a list. Okay. So again, this split is a function. Okay. So the same as your upper, same as your lower, this is also a function. Okay. So that's why I'm saying it is upper and then brackets. Okay. Here also, split is a function, and the value which I am passing is the argument to this. Okay. So here I'm saying search for comma, and on the basis of that, split the string. Okay. So now you will get this HTML, CSS, Java separation. Okay. Let's say now you have a list and you want to join it back. Okay. So I can say S1 is equals to, the syntax of a join function is opposite of a split function. Okay. So you have to specify how you want to join this string. I'm saying in between two elements, put one space. Okay. Dot join, and you have to specify how to join this list. Okay, so now it will join this entire list and it will put space in between. Here if I say put a comma in between, okay, so if I have this string and I want to reverse, what I'll write?
Option
I want to reverse this string. How to reverse a string?
minus colon.
So I can put colon colon minus one, right? So if I do that, it will print me and OTA something like this. Right? I want to reverse a string on the basis of words. Okay. So I have HTML, CSS, Java, Python. Okay. I want Python, Java, CSS, HTML. Okay. Try this. So I have HTML, CSS, Java, and Python. Now I want this as Python, then Java, then CSS, and then okay. Try this. I'll just go and grab the code.
columnar dimension in this one,
Yeah, tell me.
but everything will get connected.
I have this thing.
S1 is S dot
S1 is equals to
S list of comma column minus one.
S of colon minus 1. This will reverse the entire.
This yeah, every word is a progress
Right.
to get right.
So what I'll do, let's say S dot split and split it on the basis of comma. What I got? Okay,
Individuals.
I got it individually, right? If I now print L dot colon minus 1, I got it in reverse. Okay, so I use the split it on the basis of comma, right? So it gave me something like this separate. Now same reverse operation I used here, that is colon minus 1. So now I got this. So I have the reverse list now which I'm expecting, but this is in format of a list. I want it in the format of a string. What should I do? Exactly. So here first I'm writing L2 is equals to L of colon minus 1. Yeah. Join. What should I write? S2 is equals to. I want here also separated by comma only. Dot join of L2. Okay. Let's discuss this format. So far we have seen that if I have num1 is equals to 100 and num2 is equals to 200, and let's say I want to print the value of both with a statement. Let's say I want to say something like value of num1 is, okay, then I need to put comma, and I need to say num1 comma value of num2 comma and num2, right? So that I can get a statement and the value. Okay. But this is not a clean approach. So Python provides one method for a string, and that is called format. Okay. So for print statement, whenever you specify a string, okay, so you can use this method. So I'll just say num1 is, okay, and I will put one placeholder. Okay. So here I want to print the value of num1, and here I want to print the value of num1. So the method name is dot format. Okay, and what I want to print here, I will specify the value num1 comma num2. If I execute this, it will automatically print at first place. It will print the value of first element, and at second placeholder, it will automatically place the value of second variable. So here I can specify the numbers also. Here the position is 0 and this is 1, right? So defaultly, if I do not specify, it will take it in the same order. I can change the order also. Here I'm saying 1 and here I'm saying 0. Okay. So here it will print the value of 1, that is 0, and 1, that is num2 here and num1. Okay. So all you need to do is just define one placeholder where exactly you are expecting the value of variable to be printed. Okay. Next set of function, find index, place. I have a string which contains again, let's say HTML, Python, and Java. If I'm looking for a particular string, if this is present or not, and if present, what is the index of that? So I can use this find method. So I'll just say s dot find, and I need to specify what exactly I'm looking for. I'm saying I am searching for Python, okay, and it will print me the index of starting point. Okay. If it says starting point, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. So it will print the index 5. Okay. Again, what this find will do, if you have multiple occurrences, okay, it will always print the first occurrence. Okay. So if you have multiple occurrences, it will always print first occurrence. If I specify something which does not exist, it will give me -1 as the answer. If value does not exist.
Okay.
Okay. So for find, I can specify the string which I'm looking for. If that string is exist, then it will return the starting index of that string. Okay. If it does not exist, it will return -1. If you have multiple occurrences, it will only return the index of first occurrence from left to right. Okay. Another variation we have is rfind. Okay. So now it will try to search for this particular string, but from the right hand side. So that's why it will not give you index 5, it will give index 12. That is this 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So rfind, so find it will give an index from left to right. Rfind it will give the index which is from right to left.
Here and so the first occurrence.
Oh yeah, first occurrence from right. Okay. Now similar to this, we have index function. So what index will do? Again, it will check if this particular string exists or not. If it exists, it will return the first occurrence from left to right. Okay. And what is the difference between index and find? So the only difference is if I specify something which does not exist, your find will return -1, but index will throw an error. Okay. It will throw this value error, that is substring not found. Okay. If you want to replace something, I can say s.replace. I'm saying replace this HTML with HTML5. Okay. Again, if I specify something which does not exist in case of a replace, it will not throw any error, but it will not make any changes also.
What? That does not exist.
So if it does not exist, it will not throw any error, but it will not make any changes. Okay?
Why we need this?
A replace. So I want to replace Python with HTML.
No, that's okay. Because it's clear.
So if I'm trying to replace something which does not exist in the system, okay, it will not create any side effect. Okay. Print s will be same. Okay, so even if I replace this, let's say Python with HTML5, okay, as I said, strings are immutable, right? Okay, so you can still say your s will only contain this. What I'm saying. So I'm saying s dot replace this Python. So replace this Python from this s with HTML5. Okay, and I'm assigning it to this s. Okay, so whenever I print it, how many prints do I have? Okay, so this is the first output that your Python will be replaced by HTML5. You have this two Python, right? So I'm specifying multiple occurrences in Python, replace with HTML5. So when I replace it and when I print the S1, so it will replace it with the HTML file. But when I print the S, I'm still getting the original string that is with footer. Okay. The reason is your strings are immutable data type. Okay. So I cannot modify at the same memory. Okay. So even I assign it to original S. Okay. So it looks like I'm changing the value, but the reason you are not actually changing it is if I say print ID of S, okay, and here after changing print ID of S, okay, so you can find your memory location will be different. So at same memory location it will not change. Okay, so it will assign a different string and refer it as a S now. Okay, Prakash, clear? So this is your find, index, replace, and artifact. Okay. So next set of function is alpha. Is alpha, is alpha, is digit, and is space. Okay. I have a string. Now if I print s dot is alpha, okay, it will give me true. That means it will check if your string only contains alphabets or not. If I add numbers, it will give me answer as false. Again, your space is also not allowed. Okay. Next is alum. So is alum is your alpha numeric. Okay, so it will check if it contains alphabets or numbers. Okay, but here again there is a space, that's why it will return false. But now if I execute this, your is alpha is returning false, but your is alum is returning true. Okay, similarly we have print s dot is digit. It will check if your string contains only digits or not. Okay? If I have something like this, it will return me true. But if I say something like this, I'll get answer as false. Okay. If you want to compare it with space, If I have only exact one space, then only it will be true. If I say something like this, A, B, it contains character, that's why it will return false. So this will be true only for the space character. That means if it's a space or if it's a slash t, that means star character, this will be true, or new line character. Last six functions. So we have something called center, lgist, rgist. Okay. Then we have strip, lstrip, and rstrip. Okay. Now this strip and strip rstrip are very important if you are dealing with your files or web application. Okay. So I have a string Python. Now length of this will be 6, right? I want to make it as a fixed length 20. Okay. So I can say it as s1 is equals to s dot center, and I need to specify what exactly I need to print in case of your blank. Okay. I need to specify the length. Let's say I want the total length of this string should be 20. Okay. But at the moment this is only 6. Right? I want to make it till 20. So you have to specify what exactly needs to be printed in case of empty. So if I print it now, it will put star on the left hand side and on the right hand side, and it will keep your string in the middle. Okay. Another variation of this is print s dot list 20. Okay. So what your else will do, it will keep your string on the left hand side, and for the remaining spaces, it will put star. If I try for rgist, okay, it will put your string on the right hand side and star on the left hand side. So what your center will do, that I have a string of length 6. Okay, I want string of length 20. Same string I want to convert it of length 20. Right. Now this is 6. 6 minus so 20 minus 6. So I have 14 blank characters. Right. So what center will do? It will keep your string in the middle. Okay, your string will be in the middle, and on the left hand side and on the right hand side there will be blank spaces. So it will print the character which you have specified after this. Okay, so here I'm specifying print star instead of the spaces. So that's why it's printing star. So your string will be in the center, and it will print star on the left and the right hand. Here if I say space, it will put space. It's just it will be difficult to identify, but still if I just scroll over here, you can see okay there is space and there is also space. Okay. What else will do? It will keep your string on the left hand side and it will print the extra character on the remaining spaces on the right hand side. Or just it will keep your string on the right hand side and say at extreme right your string there will be, and for the remaining spaces it will put stuff. Okay, clear now? Sure. Opposite of this is now, let's say I have a string of length 20. Okay. But it contains lot of extra characters. Okay, it contains lot of extra characters. I want to remove this. Okay, so I want to remove this extra character from left hand side and from right hand side. Okay, now this is very common use case whenever you are working with your web pages. That whenever you try to fetch some data from be it your text files or be it from your internet using any website, at a particular element you will see a lot of white spaces before actually. Okay, so you have to trim down the white space and then you have to work on the actual result. Okay, so for that I can use function that is strip. So as start strip, I need to specify what I need to remove. Okay, so I'm saying remove star from this particular string. That string is S1. Okay, so now what it will do, it will remove all the stars from left side and from the right hand. Okay, keep in mind it will not remove the star from in between. Okay, I'm changing the string to something like this. Okay, so the center of this will look something like this. And even I use strip function, the strip function will actually remove everything from the left and the right hand side of the string. Okay, but it makes sense, right? So you have a text line of 2, okay, and it contains a lot of white space at start and the end. Okay, so whenever you strip it, your meaning is remove the white spaces from left and right only. The spaces which we have in between are actually adding some meaning to the sentence, right? So that's why it will not remove the star from in between. Okay, it will just remove from the left hand side and from the right hand side. I just say else strip. What else strip will do? It will remove everything from left hand side only. Okay, and you can still see the extra characters on the right hand side. If I say R strip, it will remove the extra characters from the right hand side and it will keep the extra characters from. Okay, so this is your string and string functions. I know this is a lot to remember. Okay, it's not required to by heart. If you want all the function related to string, you can do help of str. Okay, so we try to cover most important functions. Okay, but apart from this also we have a lot of functions. So all this function with documentation you will find it here. Okay, so you can go and read it out. Also, if you are looking for only function names, you can say print dictionary of str. Mm, oops, my bad. Okay, so these are all functions. For this capitalized case hold. So these are all functions available in build function. We tried to cover most of them, but still if anything left, you can read it in a book. Okay. So whenever you need a function, it's not required to by heart everything. It just keep in mind that you have this functionality. You can do this using inbuilt function. And if you stuck with the exact name, you can go this print dir of string and you can read help of string. Okay. So any queries in strings? Can you start with list or should we stop here? Go ahead, me. Guys, what say? Should we stop here or should we continue? Rishabh Prakash, continue, okay. Rishabh, so we'll start with list. Okay. We see how much we can. So what is list? List is anything which I will specify in square brackets. So I have 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Okay. So I will separate it using comma. Okay. So to install it in Sublime, actually, if you already installed Python, then there is no extra thing you need to do in Sublime. It's just save your file with extension .py. Okay. So after this session, I will send you the recording for installation and everything. You can do it. Okay. So few things about list. I will specify in square brackets and multiple elements. I will separate it by. Okay. Now in Python, in list, there is no restriction on what kind of values I can store in this list. So I can store numbers, I can store string, or even I can store a list inside the list also. Okay. Now, few things about list. So lists are said to be mutable. Okay. Now, when I say anything is mutable, which means Python will provide me methods to add, update, and delete. Okay. Next, list is also ordered. So when I say ordered, which means it will support indexing and slicing. Okay. So now indexing and slicing will be exactly same. So here, if I say print L of 0, now in case of a string, it is based on the characters, right? But in case of a list, it will be on the basis of your element. So first element, second element, third element, and this is the next entire element, right? So if I say L of 0, I will get 10. 1, I will get 20. If I say minus 1, this will give me the last element. Okay. Now in this case, your last element is a list, right? So if you have a list in list, and let's say you want to access this 200 now. Okay. So this entire is one list. Inside this list, as the last element, there is another list, and there is one element 200 which I want to access. Okay. So how you will do? You will just specify L of minus 1. Using that, you reach to this list. Now, what is the position of 200 in this list? 0, 1, right? Just specify 1 here. Okay. So this is same as your matrix. Okay. So let's say I have another list here. Okay. I want to access this 1000. What should I write?
Which one you want?
1000.
Hello, minus
Okay. Go step by step. If I say minus 1, I got this last element. Okay. So I remove this part now. Okay. Now I want this 1000. Okay. Yeah.
again minus one,
Uh-huh. Again minus 1.
and then
All right.
0.
And then, okay. So likewise, you can go up to any level, no problem. Okay. It just start putting extra indexes. Okay. So clear how I got this 1000? Okay. Indexing, slicing, again exact similar. So if I say 2, that means 0, 1 and 0, 1 and 2. Okay. So again, end is not inclusive. So in that case, it will just give me 10 and 20. Okay. If I want 20 Python and this entire last list, what should I write?
Hello, 2 colon,
Mhm.
30.
Okay. So 0, 1, 2, so Python and this entire list. Okay. Okay. I said this is a mutable data structure. So that means there has to be methods to add, update, and delete the element. Okay. So let's say you have a list 100, 200, 300, and 400. Okay. So to add element to this list, we have methods like add, append, extend, and insert. Okay. If I want to add a single element to this list, all I will say, I'll say L dot append 500. Okay. If we check the ID also now, print ID of L. So before adding the list and after adding the element. Okay. If you compare the memory location, now your memory location will be same. Okay. So actually I am modifying at the same list. Okay. So if I want to add a single element, I can use this append method. Okay. I cannot specify multiple elements. Okay. So if I say 500, 600, it will show me an error. Okay. But I said I can add single element, right? So let's try adding a list. Okay. So you can see what this append will do. Whatever you are writing will be a single element. Okay. It will pick it up and it will add as it is to the list. Okay. That's why you can see it will create a list inside a list. Okay. Next, let's say X dot extend. So in the list at the moment, I have 100, 200, 300, and 400. Okay. So your append will defaultly add element at the last one. Okay. So I cannot add it at the beginning. Okay. So how to add at the beginning or in the middle, we will discuss. Okay. So for now, append, it will add the element at last position. Okay. And that is also a single element. Now I'm saying L dot extend, the same thing I'm doing here. And I am adding 1000, 2000, 3000 this time. And now let's see. Okay. What your L dot extend will do, it can be used to add a multiple elements. Okay. But how it works, it takes a iterable as an argument. Okay. So whatever I will specify here, it will start iterating. Okay. That means it will fetch first element, add it to the list, second element, add it to the list, third element, add it to the list. On the other hand, what append will do, it will pick this entire element and add it to the list. Okay. So that is the reason if I try something like this. Okay. So what I said, extend, it will iterate over this. Okay. Now here P is separate, Y is separate, T is separate. Okay. So when it iterates over it, it will add this P, Y, T, H, O, N separately at the end. Okay. But if I try the same thing with append, it will consider this everything as a one element and it will add as it is to the list. Okay. So clear difference between your append and extend. Append, it will pick and it will add as it is to the list. Extend, it will start iterating over the element and it will add the individual element to the list. Okay. Now if you want to insert an element in between, we have this method insert. First argument it will take is the index at which you want to add the value and the element which you want to add. Okay. So what it will do, it will add that element at the beginning and it will shift everything on the right hand side. Okay. So this is your in append, extend and insert method. Okay. So defaultly append and extend will add the element at the last. Okay. And then you have an insert method that you can put any element in between. Okay. But keep in mind your insert operation is always memory intensive. Okay. So from Python point of view, it is easier to add an element at the last than adding the element in between. Okay, because Python needs to shift the memory block to the right. Okay. So if in your use case, if it is perfectly fine that you can add element at the last and still you can work on the solution, then always prefer that with as compared to your insert. Okay. So far we have seen how to add an element, right? But how to update element. So to update, we do not have any separate method. All we need to do is just specify the index which you want to modify and specify the new value. Okay. So for delete, we have pop, and we have this. Okay. If I just say L dot pop, okay. So it will defaultly remove the last element, and your pop method will always return the element which is removed from the list, okay, as the answer. So whenever I give a call to L.pop, it will pick the last element, it will remove it from this, and it will give it as an answer. Okay. So whenever I say print L.pop, I can accept that element, and I can use this element to perform some operations. Okay. Again, you can specify the index also. If you want to delete a particular element, 0, 1, 2. Okay. So in that case, now it will remove the element on the basis of index. Okay. If you want to remove the element on the basis of value, I will say L dot remove of 200. Okay. If I have multiple occurrences, okay, so your all your delete methods, it will remove only one occurrence. Okay, so next method is L dot clear. Okay. So what it will do, it will remove all the elements from your list and it will return you the empty list. Okay, so your list is still exists in the memory. It's just all the elements are removed. Okay, if you want to completely remove it, you can use this delete operator. Now this works for all the data structures, but even after, if you try this, if you try accessing the element after deleting it, it will throw an error because now there is no reference of this element in memory. Okay, your clear method, it will clear out the elements, but it will keep the list and as an empty list. Okay, your delete operator, it will remove the list completely. Okay, so few more useful methods. If you want to sort the list, okay, all you have to do is just do L dot sort. So this will sort your list. If you want reverse, L dot reverse. Okay, so L dot sort will sort your list. L dot reverse, it will reverse the list. Okay, so it is same as your colon colon minus one. So it will sort in a ascending order. So if I print the list, this is the original order in my list. I performed L dot sort and print the list. Now it will sort it in ascending order. I got the new list. Now I'm changing it in a reverse order. So I'm printing it in a reverse order. Okay. If I'm looking for a particular element, so same as your find and index function, we have index here. So it will search for the first occurrence. We have 40 here. Okay. So I need to specify the element which exists. It will check if element exists. It will return the first occurrence of that element and the index of the first occurrence. Okay. So I do not have find method here. I only have index method. Okay. And if you want to count the number of occurrence of a particular word, Okay. So this is your add, update, delete, and some of the useful functions related to your lists. Okay. We will stop here for today. Okay. So tomorrow we will start with some problem solving on your list. Okay. And then we will continue with tuple list. Okay. So go through the function names again. Okay. So that you will be comfortable while solving problems. Okay. So Rishabh, Prakash, any queries? Okay, guys, we'll stop here then. Okay. Yeah, sure, sure. I'll mail you the recording. Okay. Yes, yes. So I will mail the recordings to everyone. Okay. Okay. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow.